How about a Coppola Quick Facts?
Coppola Quick Facts. The main plot resembles a supposedly real event that happened and was compiled in the website Ever Dream This Man, which was created by Italian advertiser Andrea Nutella, who I guess is part of the Nutella family.
Yummy.
No, it's not. According to him, more than 3,000 people dreamed of the same man once and again for a few years, with the first case registered in New York City in 2006. The web offered diverse explanations, but none were definitive or proven to be true. And in 2009, it turned viral. Finally, though, it was exposed that it was all a hoax and guerrilla marketing campaign by Nutella's advertising agency. And Nutella admitted he made up the whole story to explain how urban legends and collective myths are created and spread.
Yeah, that shows up a lot. I watch a lot of like unsolved mysteries, like YouTube videos and stuff. And that one pops up a ton, especially with like internet mysteries. Like, ooh, this spooky, creepy guy that everybody saw in their dreams that no one actually saw because no one can actually remember it.
Yeah. I remember there was an experiment, I think it was in Canada somewhere, where they like just made up a ghost and just kept like talking about it and like sharing different stories. And then people eventually were like, I saw that same ghost. And like more and more people came forward and said that they had seen the ghost in this one particular place. And then they were like, we made the whole goddamn thing up. So
it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Like eating spiders in your sleep myth that was specifically created to show how you can spread misinformation online in the early days of the internet.
I hate the internet. I love the internet and I hate the internet so much. The internet is the bane of our existence at this point.
The devil.
And it's going to keep getting worse. Nicolas Cage named Ari Aster as the one director with whom he wanted to work with the most recently. Aster produced this film. And it was actually his idea to approach Nicolas Cage about the film. I wonder if that was like, you know, a cycle where he like heard that Nic Cage was interested in working with him, and then he was like, "Oh, well, we just happen to have a film that we're working on." Yeah, and this was Nic Cage's first film with A24. Hopefully, not the last, because I always feel like A24 churns out some pretty interesting stuff. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, he keeps going with them.
Yeah.
Which he seems to do. Like, he seems to stick with studios for a while, for better or worse. Like that 3-picture deal around USS Indianapolis. And in a 2023 interview with Slant Magazine, Christopher Borgley spoke about his approach to working with Nicolas Cage on the film. Said, I had written the character with no one in mind. On paper, this guy is unremarkable. He doesn't stand out. He's very bland, and he's socially awkward and sort of a beta male. Here we are casting one of the most recognizable people on the planet and someone who has a lot of natural charisma and energy. The idea of him in this role has the meta layer to it because there's so much overlap with how the culture has treated him as a mythical icon and what happens with Paul Matthews. But I needed to shave off Nicolas Cage because that's why he's bald in the movie. That's why he's distinctly dressed as a suburban dad. It's also why we made a prosthetic nose, which might be hard to detect, but he has a slightly different nose. All of these details create the sort of uncanny feeling of watching a person that you've seen, but also never seen before.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a fake nose, but that perfectly explains the feeling that I had watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's Cage, but not. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a dream version of Cage.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it reminded me of The Best Way of Pig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where they didn't really do any of that. They just gave him long hair and a beard, but he was unrecognizable.
Copious amounts of blood on his face.
He just kind of disappeared into both movies.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's like a testament to Nic Cage's acting is he can do that. And has done it several times where like just a little bit of extra prosthetics and makeup and, you know, like an adaptation. He just disappears. Not even Nic Cage, Pig, this movie. Nic actually said he took inspiration for the character from his real life experience of the viral video Nicolas Cage losing his shit, which we've talked about before was like 4 minutes of cagey moments that took off online. It was like when YouTube first really got going, that video just fucking blew up. And I feel like it renewed everybody's interest in Nic Cage's acting, but also like made him a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just, I don't know. I feel like it had a positive effect, but it also had a negative effect. And Nic is kind of like, he's leaned into it a little bit, like with Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, but he also hates it. And every time I hear him talk about the memes or as the director of Arsenal would say, maymays, every time he talks about it, he's just like, I don't get it and I hate it. And like, you're taking all of these performances out of context and you're just making me look like a fucking lunatic. For better
probably
or worse,
a double-edged sword, because I mean, he's an entertainer. He likes people enjoying his work and getting some kind of a rise out of it. But at the same time, like you said, taking a 30-second snippet of something out of a whole movie and making it seem ridiculous instead of, like all of the stuff from Vampire's Kiss. I mean, all of this stuff as Eddie in Deadfall is always ridiculous, but there's not a lot of context you need for that. But Vampire's Kiss, it's like you just watch him descend into insanity. And so running through the streets screaming, I'm a vampire is the payoff of that.
Yeah. I will forever defend Vampire's Kiss. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Watching a normal person, spoilers,
not that
pretend to be, kind of a douchey literary guy from New York slowly descend into schizophrenic madness. Spoilers for Vampire's Kiss. The look of Paul Matthews was mostly Nic Cage's idea. So like, he's an outdoorsy guy, so he wears like hiking boots, like the idea of him is that he's like a biologist, but we never see him go out and to the field and, but they kind of paint him as a guy who wants to be seen as a person who's always out in the field, but he's never out in the field. Mm-hmm. He's like wearing hiking boots and a winter jacket and stuff all the time. He's kind of got that rugged outdoor look, but he's, a beta.
Right.
As the kids are saying these days.
It's like
he's not Sigma.
Yeah. It's like at one point he set up a field like project to go study ants and then never actually went and did it, but he had all this planned stuff to do it. And then it would have been the best field study ever.
Yeah.
So, because he's just that good. He's just that good at his field work.
Yeah. There are a lot of people like this, I feel like, in the world where it's like they want to be seen as an expert, but they don't do any of the work to like actually create the thing that they're trying to do. And then people with much more confidence step in and take it, and they're probably not as smart or as talented. They just come in and they're like, well, I'm just going to do it. Mm-hmm. You're going to talk about it forever and I'm going to actually do it. So I feel like we've all known somebody like that and been somebody like that in different ways. The movie premiered at the 2023 Toronto International Film Festival, marking the 10th consecutive year in which the festival has featured a Nicolas Cage film.
Jeez, for some kind of an award. An honorary something.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. So going back to 2013, I mean, I don't want to go back and name them all, but it's got to be a lot of the movies that we've talked about. Mm-hmm. like Mandy, maybe. Mm-hmm. I think The Old Way in 2022. Mm. Pig, of course. Yeah. Anyways, 10 years in a row of having a movie featured at TIFF. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Nicolas Cage revealed that while shooting the film in Toronto, his cousin Sofia Coppola was also shooting there for a film called Priscilla, which came out last year. And Francis Ford Coppola was shooting his masterpiece, Megalopolis.
Oh, man.
Which,
I just feel bad. Dude. Like, it's just like... I don't know, man.
I just I
want to
feel like
watch
this is
it.
the culmination of his career of just making things for himself and thinking that the audience is going to like read his mind of what he was thinking. It's just I haven't seen it yet, but from what it sounds like, it's just the biggest like pretentious, I think would be the number one thing. Like it's a pretentious callback to like old cinema that fails on every single possible level from what I've heard. I don't know. Apparently they met up constantly during the filming of this film and gave each other notes on their various projects. I wonder what Nic Cage suggested for Megalopolis, and if it helped. You should have somebody in the theater talking to the screen.
Make him do
me as Elvis.
How good is Adam Driver's Gumby voice? I think he should try a Gumby voice.
You should try a Gumby voice. It'd be hilarious if that actually happened.
If you don't like the Gumby, maybe like Pinocchio. He's like, is anyone here?
Can I walk in the sky? I can slow down time. I'm a real boy. What the fuck, dude?
A weird fucking family.
A very strange family. Yeah. It seems like, I'm guessing that those meetings, everybody was like talking about how amazing Megalopolis was going to be. You know, Sophia and Nick were probably talking like, I can't wait to see it. It's going to be amazing. And then it turned out that was the biggest pile of shit out of the three movies. Like, I feel like Priscilla did pretty well and Dream Scenario did pretty well.
Yeah. We dodged a bullet. I'm like sad and happy that he wasn't in Megalopolis because I would love to have a reason to sit through that piece of shit and dissect it. But at the same time, I really would hate the process of doing that.
Yeah.
But it'd be really fun for us to sit down and just rip it apart. But anyways, final quick fact. Had a lot of quick facts on this one. Nicolas Cage supposedly, I'm guessing jokingly, said that he wanted to retire after shooting this movie. He believed that this is his meta trilogy that consists of Pig, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and Dream Scenario, and said it was the perfect way to end his career. He's talked a lot about retirement in the public eye recently, but then he just signs up for like 8 new movies every fucking year.
I know.
It's like, okay.
He's like, I forgot how terrible it was to have a kid at home.
I was going to say, like, he just had a kid again, so he's probably like, maybe thinking, just give this life up and be a dad for once, I guess. Well, that's harsh. Not for once, but like just focus on that instead of trying to make 6 movies a year.
Yeah. I think he could slow down to like 1 or 2 a year. But like, I just can't see Nic Cage not wanting to do this until the day he dies. Like, this is what he loves the most in the world. Mm-hmm. So to give it up, just doesn't seem like him. It feels like bullshit to me. I think he's just projecting a little bit of like, he feels like he should, but he really doesn't want to. I don't know.
We'll see. I can't believe like Pig is part of the meta trilogy. Pig doesn't feel that meta. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the light. He went to be a recluse out in the woods and kind of give everything up, and maybe part of him wishes he could do that. I don't know.
Well, he did say that he felt like he was, very connected to the character of Robin, and that he felt like it was. I feel like we talked about it on the episode that it was the most like him since Joe. So
that's true.
Maybe he was just kind of playing himself throughout that. I don't know. He did say, I feel like we talked about this, that he said that he was basically just playing himself and he didn't really have to act in that.
Yeah, I can kind of get it. Rob kind of has that fuck everybody else. Well, that's still harsh, but like the world doesn't get it kind of attitude. Like, and that there's a through line with that and this movie that I think would probably appeal to his psyche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially that scene
and
where he's like, this world is not real. Like, this is bullshit.
You don't get a lot of things to care about type of thing. And I think that's, and I guess an unbearable weight too, because he's lamenting that everybody just sees him as Nicolas Cage characters when that's not actually him. In the meta commentary of a Nicolas Cage character saying that in his movie, it's not actually him in that movie. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is all about that.
If you look at it as a trilogy, it is pretty great. Yeah.